Stay behind, boys.
We're underway in Penrith. Cartwright getting us underway, and the Bulldogs having first use of the football. A very warm afternoon. Drinks breaks after 20 minutes. Tough conditions for these players early, as Manu has the first hit up of the afternoon. This is Manuel Lealavave. Just shy of the 30, the Dogs. Keeping it nice and tight. Crichton. Just 10 short of halfway. There's a solid shot. Was it a shoulder charge there from Brock Cope? The referee said no, I should say, to Alex. Now they go wide here. And a changeover from Canterbury. No kick on the last. They tried to catch the Panthers and couldn't do it. So it'll be a changeover just outside Penrith's 30.
Yeah, an interesting end of the set there. You know, you've got to get a kick away early, especially in these conditions. Field position is going to be a big factor in this game, and I think they should have got one down in the corner.
They make the forwards turn around and work their way out as Saunders takes it forward. This is Tueli. Started on the bench last time we were at Penrith, now wearing the number 10. Sloppy play the ball. Tangatau. Now Atwood. No Chris Smith today. He's playing New South Wales Cup. This is Josh Tangatau. Now Cartwright. The little chip over the top and leaping in front of Wanger Blake and taking it well. There's Aaron Penne. 10 out from his own line. Both sides completing their first set. Strong run from Cope up towards the 40. Now out of acting half goes Komoto. In the 6, but playing at hooker today. Last tackle here. Will they get their kick away this time? The front row is not going to kick at Cope, but Brendan Cox does. It won't hold up in the in-goal area. A little bit of disorganisation there from the Dogs again.
Yeah, a bit of a confusion there. You don't want your front rower kicking the ball on the last. He did manage to get it away to his halfback. Unfortunately, they didn't stay in the field of play. Here come the Panthers back at him.
Zero tackle now from the 20-metre restart. And they've lost the ball here, Penrith.
Crucial error that.
Now zero tackle it was too. The winger, Joshua Jay, coming in to take the hit up, which I suppose traditionally, soft is not the right word, but the winger comes in to just settle the play down. And he loses it.
Yeah, it gives the Bulldogs a good opportunity here. I like how they've been coming out of trouble, a few out of their own end, a few change of angles, see if they can put a few things on here out on the edges.
Crichton. They're inside the 20 here, Canterbury. Komoto. Here's the acting half. Gorman. Support. Taking the tackle himself and took a solid shot as well. Here's Crichton, another hit up. The top Atwood making the tackle for Penrith. Slash play the ball from Crichton. Short side, Gorman stepping, falling over there was Scarlett for Penrith, and his opposite number was almost in. Komoto. At the back it comes to Cox, and he pushes away from 2. He's held up by Logan Guy and lost the football. His first involvement in the game, Logan Guy, and he saves a try. And now, well, he's just tapped on his thigh. Logan, you can't do that.
We need a proper tap.
The first referee, Phil Henderson, was going to let it go, but David Munro said no. But what about the tackle from the young fullback, son of Mark Geyer? Come up with a try save for his first involvement in the game.
And he needed to, because he just walked through there. The young halfbacks, Sammy Scarlett, took the line on, created an opportunity, nearly got the 4 pointers, the 4-pointer for the Bulldogs.
Saunders will play it for Penrith. Just shy of the 40. Pelasasa. Tangatau. Disjointed this set here, the Panthers. Scarlett. Kick into the corner. Shoulder reconstruction after starting season 2013 so strongly, Sam Scarlett. Good to see him back playing. It's his second game for the year. Tommy Backhouse back from injury as well for Canterbury. There's a shot over the top from Toeli, and a strip, says the referee. That was a strong tackle there on Luamanu.
Hendo, you come through.
A hand on the footy.
Yeah, the discipline there, just, you know, not creeping in there with an error. They completed their set, which is what they needed to do after the last mistake with the winger coming in there. But Penrith should be very disappointed. See how they react here.
Backhouse. Bounced away from the tackle of Naden. Schoolboy, who played fullback in round 1. Here's Luamanu again. Shy the 20-metre line. Top of your screen. Crichton. And that pass was behind Cox. The referee ruled a knock on, and Wanger Blake had young Brendan Cox lined up. And luckily for Cox, he dropped the ball, I think. Otherwise, Wanger Blake would have ironed him out.
Yeah, just going to the line there. Probably the timing was just a little bit out, but we spoke in the pre-game about Walker and how his decision-making on the edge was going to affect his game, and he's definitely made the right decision there to come in.
There's the tackle from Logan Geyer.
Yeah, it was outstanding, wasn't it? It needed to be made too.
Yeah, cool, boys. Head right in, Josh. Ball. Out.
Not a bad way to come up with your first play. And there's a mistake from the Panthers. Trying to get his arms free there, Wanger Blake. And they've turned it over inside their own half again, Penrith. It's been a curse for them since the second half of round 1, hanging on to the footy. The first half was brilliant against Newcastle to lead 18-0. Since then, they've really struggled to hang on to it. Now they're under the pump again. Komodo. Now Luamanu. Right on the 10-metre line, he'll play it. Centre field. Gorman out the back, it comes through an ineffective attempted tackle from Tia Khalifi. Was Krasanski Kennedy. Elliott. They're just hanging on here at the moment, Penrith. Last tackle. Crichton with the kick. There's another example. He's come up with a good tackle.
I'll take it. Hendo, go through. Go through.
Jeez, he's made something out of nothing there, hasn't he? Probably not the ideal end to the set. But he's just manned up and muscled the Penrith player back over his own goal line.
Yeah, once again, I was about to say, just a nothing play on the last tackle for Canterbury. He's entitled to get up and run again there, Brendan Atwood, and he's entitled to make the tackle. And a short kick, and he's come up with it. Cartwright, and Saunders has dropped it. The referee says it went backward. Well, weren't they fortunate there, the Panthers? Intelligent stuff from Bryce Cartwright. Now they get a penalty.
A reliever too, they needed that. Look, who would try that? What are we, 10 minutes, 8 minutes into the game, and Penrith under the pump on their own goal line and try a short kick? That's unbelievable.
And it only just made it too. He was waiting, and that shows you how deep the Bulldogs were, that they couldn't get there. I reckon that was a knock-on from Andy Saunders. They're called knocked on more often than not those. It was propelled, I thought, towards his opponent's goal line. Got lucky there, the Panthers, on the back of brilliant play from Bryce Cartwright. Here's Saunders, 13 today. Tangatau. A little bit of a dummy. Now he links with Toeli. Now the little kick from Katoa. And Krasanski Kennedy comes across and gets monstered straight away by the kicker. And Joshua Jay was there as well.
Yeah, probably would have liked to see him play out the set there. You know, there's a bit of space in behind. They really need to muscle up now, though.
They're doing a lot of defending, but at least this time they're defending inside the opposition 20. As Cope plays it. This is Luamanu. Approaching the 10-minute mark of the first half on a warm afternoon in Penrith. Now crossfield trying to link is Elliott. Last tackle here for Canterbury. This is a better end of the set from Cox, and it's a big kick though. It will go over the dead ball line and it'll be a 20-metre restart, which means a 0 tackle here for Penrith.
Yep. Yeah, a few big of the Penrith players starting to walk as well. They're going to have to lift the tempo here.
Strong tackle over the top from Momanu. Around the legs was Adam Elliott. Khalifi. Possession at the moment being dominated by Canterbury. 64% early. That may have an impact at the back end of the game in these warm conditions to do so much defence. Tangatau trying to catch them short, just throws the ball out the back. Picked up by Naden. Scarlett. Nice little kick into the corner. It's just got too much on it. Krasansky-Kennedy watches it go over the dead ball line. It'll be a 20-metre restart with a 0 tackle here for the Bulldogs.
We've got a kick, mate. Hold her up.
Both sides just seem to be a bit disjointed, as we've said. They're just not settling into their game plans here at the moment, and I'm sure Trent Barrett wouldn't be happy with some of the options that his key players are making at the moment.
A number of changes to both sides heading into the game as well. Of course, the Bulldogs have changed their coach as well.
Short week as well.
Hands away!
Was Lane playing a good young player, Sean Lane. This is a good set here from Canterbury. Trying to get a quick play the ball there, Komoto. Gorman, short ball, Elliott. Had to be tackled by the halfback, Sam Scarlett, and he was right on the 30. Gorman now. Here's a great ball down the touchline. Manuel Leovave gets the ball to Backhouse, and over the top with a try saver was Atwood. Terrific tackle from Geyer as well. They're hanging on here, the Panthers. Gorman goes to acting half. Komoto, the kick, has that got too much on it? Slipping over. If he was able to get a hand on that, maybe tapping it back, Sean Lane, a chance for the Dogs.
That was a great set. They tested the Penrith defence on so many occasions there. They come down to the short side, counted the numbers, beautiful cutout pass that sent the winger down there. Look, I just think the Panthers are just struggling at the moment. The Bulldogs have just seemed to be all over them. They've got all the momentum.
Tangatau been terrific for Penrith. 2 games we've seen him. He will be one to watch for Canterbury at the back end of each half. Forward call from the Bulldogs, not answered by the referee. There's Kayota kicking early again. And here's a flying chase from Jay. Just couldn't get there. 20-metre restart, 0 tackle again. I don't think I've seen as many 20-metre restarts in the first 13 minutes of a game ever.
That's okay.
They've kicked early again there. They're very persistent. Maybe they think there's an opportunity there. Geez, he showed some toe down that sideline as well.
Joshua Jay.
Nice.
Gorman through Cartwright, lost the ball, and Cartwright comes up with it. So a mistake here inside their own half from Canterbury. Is this the opportunity the Panthers were waiting for? And have they got anything in the tank at the moment to take advantage? Strong tackle on Atwood over the top. Scarlett. Short ball, Palasasa. Stopped as he came to the defence. There was 3 Bulldogs there to make the tackle as he got the footy. Saunders, strong run.
13! Yeah. And go for.
Scarlett. Scarlett takes the line on and hitting a nice tackle there by Crichton.
Last one!
It is the last.
Hold!
This Cartwright is out to the right. Atwood. Kota cuts out Cartwright. Back to Geyer. Able to get it away to winger Blake. And Blake is taken by Lane. Change over here for the Panthers, but they almost created something.
Marker nice and
So
square.
often do you see it where the momentum's with the other side, and then, you know, the opportunity for the Panthers, they get down here and they played a really nice set out there. I loved how Sam Scarlett took the line on there. He organised his players well, and they nearly come up with a really good result.
Let's see how hard it is for Canterbury to get out of their own end with this set. The Penrith and there's the mistake.
No. Just a knock on. Just a knock on.
No, penalty. The one's referee saying penalty, the other one saying no. I'm not sure that was a penalty. I don't think the man that dived on the ball was in front of the last man that touched it. But anyway, it was a tied catch from Brock Cope. Now they're really under pressure here, Canterbury. Saunders, 10 out, right in front of the posts. Tangatau, Scarlett kicking, obstruction, says the referee.
Obstruction.
Well, was there an obstruction?
It just broke down on that left edge again as we look to the screen. Scarlett going to the line. He's just the timing was out there. Yeah, it's touch and go, wasn't it?
Well, who was trying to tackle him? And who was impeded from making a tackle?
On the line, mate. On the line. That's good.
They breathe a sigh of relief, the Bulldogs.
Hands away.
Not only do they survive, but they get a penalty kick to get them down near halfway. They don't have to do the hard yards to get out of their own end. 16 gone, no score. Crichton and coming in to make the tackle and didn't make it, Kayota. And that means that Cox is able to pick up some easy metres and put the Panthers on the back foot. Saunders gives away a penalty.
Onside, here's your mark. Wait
How quickly it can turn.
Wait now. Okay, when you're ready.
It's not a bad penalty by Saunders there. He realised his side was under a bit of pressure. He's been very busy with the ball, but he's saved the try there for sure.
Here, boys. Come on,
This time, can the Dogs take advantage of their field position and the possession? Crichton. They get to the centre of the park. We're inside the 10. Gorman up quickly, making a tackle. Tia Khalifi on Backhouse. He came off his wing. He had to make it and wrap the ball up, and he did so. Komoto. Crichton. Heavily involved early. Tackle made by Atwood. Komoto. Romanu. The kick coming through from Gorman. Gorman takes it on the full. Another 20-metre restart with a 0 tackle.
Zero come
in the middle.
Yeah, some of the options not what's called for at the time. You know, the Bulldogs had all the momentum here. They've had a good opportunity to build a bit of pressure by completing that set and just come up with a poor kick. Brendan Cox there.
Khalifi's looking as he comes to the defence. There's Tangatau. Over the halfway he goes. Atwood at acting half. Saunders again. Crichton brings him to ground. Scarlett. Kayota. Cartwright kicking again. Kicking plenty of possession away, but it was a good kick because Kyle Krasansky-Kennedy had nothing he could do. He had to try and protect the footy and slid into touch.
Yeah, it was a good kick, but you have to question the tactics there. But I guess the chase there really made that play. You know, the Bulldogs player had to get across there and snuff it out.
We're approaching the halfway mark of the first half, so I would suggest that there'll be a drinks break at the end of this set, or the next stop in play anyway.
Josh, get in.
Holly, boys.
Can the Bulldogs hang on here to get to that drinks break? Maybe turn the momentum again. Wanga Blake is very hard to stop. Look at the strength. And the Bulldogs come from everywhere and force him back.
Hold. Go.
Tangatau. Scarlett. Atwood. Hope there, wrapping the footy up. It's just a couple of metres away from the line. Watch Tangatau. Kyoto. Now Cartwright, he's dangerous. Back to Katoa. Going behind a man, no obstruction there. This time the referee says. Katoa will tackle, play the ball after being tackled. Saunders straight and hard, and they were waiting for him. The Dogs not moving off the line. Crichton around the legs. Now Tangatau, terrific tackle and a one-on-one steal. How did he come up with the ball there? Robbie Komoto, terrific tackle, terrific steal.
Tangatau's starting to cause a few trouble around, a bit of trouble around the ruck. He's, taking some opportunities there, getting out, putting his players under, getting in behind the defensive line of the Bulldogs.
Still got it, still got it. 9.
We've got guys. Both teams are desperately looking for that break.
11.
Regroup, and there's a ball that was well taken by Lane. And how did he get that away to Krasansky Kennedy in the one motion? Terrific work, Sean Lane. Here he is again. And will they take a break here? Will they give the Bulldogs the opportunity? No, they are going to take a break.
Time out.
Halfway through the first half.
7.
In that instance, you reckon the Dogs might have liked to have gone on just another set on the back of a penalty?
Yeah, possibly.
I know they've got no choice, but it would have been nice for them, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you're looking at the Panthers' defence there now. They are looking and breathing in the big ones, I suppose you could say. So they're looking forward to this drink, but it might give them a chance just to compose themselves. They've been on the attack a lot this half. The Canterbury Bulldogs, they've come up with some really good plays, but it just seems their last tackle options is what's letting them down at the moment. So this might be the chance that they need to just calm things down a little and put on a really nice set piece going into the Penrith defensive line.
They've been lucky, Penrith, in certain respects. They've made a couple of mistakes inside their own 30. And the Bulldogs have made a couple as well. But defensively, which has been an area of weakness for both teams to start the season, they've been strong. And that was terrific work there from Komoto to make the tackle on Tangatau and to come up with the one-on-one steal. And now they've got the break and a penalty on the back of that. Nathan, in this situation, is it hard to get your mind back, your concentration back when you've had a break like that in the middle of a half of football to get back into that rhythm?
Look, it can be. But as I said, I think both sides needed that. The Bulldogs on the attack here look for Gorman and Cox to really take control. And they've got to come up with those right options on play 5. They've got to start building pressure there to make the Penrith Panthers side come off their own try line.
Jordan Stratton has come on for Penrith in jersey 19, and coming from the field, Miles Toelli. He will be a player once he grows a bit more too. Sean Lane, he's got a terrific build for a back rower. Strong tackle by Stratton. Now Komoto has been dangerous for Canterbury this afternoon. Gorman on the field. Kamia, 17 for the Dogs. Crichton still going. Atwood is there to hold him up. It is the last tackle.
1 foot. Hold. Go.
Now the ball to Cope, flicked out the back from Komoto, and there was just no one there for Penrith. They were out on their feet. The first try of the afternoon goes to Canterbury, and it's the big front rower, Brock Cope, who literally fell over the line.
Yeah, Komoto, or actually it's the 6th there. Komoto out of dummy half. He's starting to cause a few problems there for the Penrith defence, but he's just turned the other way. Very soft try there. Penrith have got to be compressed around the ruck there, but it was always telling. Canterbury have been on top for a lot of this half and get the 4 points they deserve.
No tries for the first 20 and a half minutes. We have a break in the first set after the break. Penrith defensive line is cracked, and it's the front rower, Brock Cope, who scored a front rower's try, really. A metre out and falling over the goal line to place the ball.
He'll be telling his friends this afternoon it'll be from 50, won't he?
Yeah, sure will. And now from right in front, Brendan Cox to try and make it 6 points to 0. Trent Barrett will be very disappointed the way they conceded that try. There was no one around him at all. A hand laid upon him as Cox converts the try, and it is 6 points to 0. The Bulldogs over Penrith. So Canterbury, I think, get the points they deserve. I think they've been the better side in the first 23 minutes of this game.
How are you, Laurie, Jay?
They definitely have. You know, Penrith have probably not played ideally or the way that their coach Trent Barrett would have liked. They are turning the ball over too much. A few crucial errors down this end of the field. Hopefully they can turn that around now.
That's a
An awkward kick there and off the hand, bounced up and hit the arm of Komoto, Robbie Komoto. It was an awful kick to try and catch. He tried to just protect it, and in the end, he did neither. Bang. Almost like he wanted to charge it down. Yeah, just keep your hands by your side, Robbie. You don't need to put him in the air like that. Yeah. Although he was worried about it bouncing over his head and going over to the dead ball line.
Yeah, coach killers, those ones. After points, you really want to be completing that next set of 6 to get down the other end. But it gives the Panthers a fantastic opportunity to strike straight back here.
Holy boys.
Speak about it so often, the set after points. Haven't even got the first tackle here, Canterbury. Here's Naden, still at school, Brent Naden. He's only 2 metres away from the line. Tangatau. Now Stratton, big young bloke at coat, gets some assistance from Komoto to make the tackle. Puts him on his back to slow him down, Tangatau. And there's Cartwright, the ball out the back to Wanga Blake. He was almost on the ground. Bryce Cartwright, what about the pass? Bryce Cartwright, the Holden Cup Player of the Year in 2013, has come up with a terrific offload to get the Panthers' first points.
Yeah, it was a great play. He's run a fantastic line there, isolated the smaller man and was able to get his arm free. But what an impact he's had since he's come back. He's done the hard yards over on the edge and created those opportunities. We spoke about Waka. He continues his try-scoring blitz that he started last year.
Anyone would score tries outside Bryce Cartwright, though. Not taking away from Wanga Blake. But Bryce Cartwright, what about the ball?
They set it up really nice, actually, and you know, he's a big, powerful man. He's about to have a kick at goal as well, so he can do everything, this kid.
On the back of Canterbury not being able to catch the ball on the full from the restart after they scored a try. It's such an important set after points. And they weren't even able to get to their first tackle. Here he is, Bryce Cartwright. I don't know how much we'll see him in the Holden Cup in 2014. Second game back from off-season surgery, wrist surgery. Had some plates in his wrist. He's back on the park and trained with the NRL on the off-season. Will he play NRL this year? That is the question. There is no doubt he is well and truly good enough. Will he get his opportunity this year? I think he will. They've got some good young talent here, Penrith. They won the under-20s comp last year. Of course, they made the New South Wales Cup with Windsor, the grand final last year, and a lot of their under-20s players have gone up there, and they've still got players playing today in the New South Wales Cup squad that are eligible for this under-20s team. Kieran Mosley, Regan Huck is playing there today, to name two. There's Chris Smith playing up there. A few others as well. Chandler, I'm sure, will be at least in that New South Wales Cup side in a couple of weeks as well. Saunders. Panthers fans wanting a penalty. Bulldogs not releasing the tackle player. Stratton. Some size about him, doesn't he? Scarlett looking for touch, and well, how did he stop himself there? Krasansky Kennedy, I thought he was going to slip over the touchline again. Well done. He took the odds to it and came up with it. This is Sonny Tupuolo, 19. Elliott. Behind, here's a chance. Lane into space. They've slipped over here, the Panthers, and Lane passed the ball to his opponent who knocked it down. Joshua J back into the hands of Sean Lane, who scores. Luck's a fortune for Canterbury. For some reason, he passed it straight into the hands of the Panthers winger Joshua J, who dropped it straight back to Sean Lane.
Yeah, it all comes on the back of the kick. Probably not getting far enough down the field as what Trent Barrett would have liked, but it was a lovely set piece here. Front rower goes to the line, out on the edge. They've created a few opportunities there today. Lane with the big bust there, summing up his options here. Probably could have went himself, but he ended up getting the desired result there for the Bulldogs. And yeah, you know, they've struck back again. They hit the front.
They've got to be disappointed there, Penrith. It was a well-worked move from Canterbury, but he just passed the ball straight to Joshua Jay, who slipped over initially and got back to try and prevent the try and just dropped the ball.
Yeah, it's what you want from your outside backs there when there is a bust made. You need to be getting back and getting numbers in the picture, and he certainly did that. Unfortunately, he couldn't come up with the play, but it was a fantastic little set piece, as we mentioned, and you know, I've been really impressed so far this first half with the Bulldogs' change of angles around the ruck, and they've gone to that left-hand side quite a few times and created a few headaches for the right-hand Panthers defence.
Brendan Cox to try and increase the lead. 10 out from half-time, just about. And he struck it pretty well and got the extra 2 here for Canterbury. 12 points to 6. So in the 9 minutes since the drinks break, we've had 3 tries after none in the first 20 minutes of this first half. It's a warm day, but I don't think it's as warm as it was when we were here 2 weeks ago for the Knights in Penrith. But drinks break after 20 minutes in this under-20 match as Cartwright is going to kick that into the in-goal area, very close to the dead ball line. This time, Robbie Komodo takes it on the full. Kamia, who played a real big hand in that try. There's the mistake. Lane has turned it over, trying to get a bit too flash there. Komodo coming to the open, passing on the blind inside their own 20. Now Wanga Blake. Will they live to regret this again, Canterbury? Cartwright on the pass to Tangata. Atwood. Tangata. Scarlett, Naden through 1, through 2, past the fullback, and Brent Naden gets the try on the back of another Canterbury error after they scored points. 12-10 with a kick to come. He beat 3 to score, but they're paying for their mistakes.
Crucial error again on the back of points. As we said, it's so important to get to that kick on that set. Give the Panthers an opportunity. Little Sammy Scarlett, perfect ball, getting Naden on the outside there, and you know, he did the job. Was good enough to finish it. But everyone performed their roles here perfectly. You know, the decoy runners sucked in a few defenders, which allowed him to get on the outside there. But the ball from Sammy Scarlett, it was a ripper.
Good young player, Scarlett, shoulder reconstruction last year, and suffered a shoulder injury in the off-season as well. Just his second game back. Got his man on the outside of the defence and still had some work to do. Brent Naden, still at school in year 12. And another quality player the Panthers have found, but I know it's easy in hindsight, but just had the feeling when they're just too fancy around the ruck area, working it out from your own end. Komoto going back across the ruck. I think it might have even hit the backside of Kamia. Lane had no chance of picking that up, and they've paid the price. So 2 tries they've scored. They haven't completed 2 tackles on the back of those, and they've conceded 2 tries. Cartwright has hooked that. Didn't strike it well. 12-10, the Dogs over the Panthers inside the final 10 minutes of this first half. And it is something that every coach and every team knows, Nathan, the fact that when we score points, let's complete our set.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what level of football you're playing, whether it's under 9s or NRL, you must complete that next set of 6. Turn that defence around, get them coming off their own try line once again, but see how the Panthers go here.
Let's see if Penrith can complete their set here. Atwood. From Tangata. Interesting this week that Josh Tangatau hasn't been interchanged. I reckon the drinks break helps him. So Trent Barrett keeping his number 9 out there. Such a pivotal player. Kieran Mosley, who's playing in the New South Wales Cup, he's eligible still for the under-20s. Another one of those players for Penrith. And when you've got Tangatau playing so well, it's a nice luxury, isn't it? That's a good kick, a better kick, deeper kick.
Great chase as well.
Let's see how Canterbury go working it out from their own end, whether the forwards get back and help out, whether they got the energy to get back and help out. Coming out. Field now with Vella. Here's Vella in 9. Nice tackle.
Keep coming. 23, get out there. 17.
A couple of players called offside, and the referee says playing just got the kick away. Jay turns it. So they'll start this set 10 short of halfway here. Penrith getting to that 5-minute mark before half-time. Will there be points before half-time? And if there is, which team will get them?
It was a great defensive set by the Panthers. They kicked in the corner. The chase was spot on. Got the Bulldogs kicking from very deep in their own half with a bit of kick pressure. That's what we're looking for after points.
Scarlett. At the back it comes to Geyer. Stepped out of one and got away from Crichton, but can't get away from Elliott. Crawling towards the goal line. Guitar. Now, Cartwright, wang up play, ball on the outside to Jay, who scores just before half-time for Penrith. Catch and pass, man on the outside, Wanger Blake, and it was all too easy for Joshua Jay.
Yeah, you could really just feel that momentum swing there. It all come on the back of that kick chase, but here, Cartwright once again, he's got to the outside of the smaller man, passed it on the outside shoulder for Waka to do his job, drew the winger in, put his guy away. So fantastic footy there, and you've got to take your hats off. It all started from that kick chase.
You've got to say too at the moment, and we're only approaching halfway, Wanger Blake is winning the battle there with Michael Morgan. He's a good young player for Canterbury. He hasn't had too many opportunities with the football, but found out a little bit there in defence. The number 4 for Canterbury, and mind you, when you've got Bryce Cartwright running at you with Wanger Blake on the outside, it's not an easy read in defence, is it?
He's a good player, that Cartwright. You know, we've watched him develop, I guess, over the last year in the Holden Cup, but he's really making his mark, and he's going to be getting, I guess, Ivan Cleary to be taking notice, and he's putting his hand up for selection in that Panthers top squad. But you know, everyone did fantastic there. They got the ball to where it needed to be. Cartwright did his thing, Walker did his thing, and the winger went over.
And Joshua Jay, who's doing a double degree in medical science and physiotherapy. Imagine being next to him on the bus on the way to a game, and the discussion you'd have to have. Nathan, you reckon you could keep up with him? As Cartwright has missed that one as well. But it's 14 points to 12. The Panthers in front just before half-time.
Important set for the Panthers here. Once again, they don't have to do anything special. They just need to complete this set, turn the Bulldogs around. The big Bulldogs forwards are just starting to look a little bit tired here, getting towards the back end of the first half.
Run off to Munga is on the field in 21 for Canterbury. It's Jordan Hall for Penrith. 3 out from half-time. There's still time for Canterbury. They'll get at least one more set before the break. Temptation here to kick early and kick deep for Penrith, just to get it down the other end and away from trouble. They're up to the 40-metre line early. Maybe not. Cartwright. Scarlett. Short ball. Stratton into space. Here comes the support. Pelasasa, the big front rower, couldn't link on the outside with Tia Khalifi. Quick play the ball. Tangatau. Scarlett back on the inside to a man that was offside. I thought the referee says play on. Tangatau back to Atwood, who scores. A terrific Penrith try. No, he was short of the line and lost it.
Listen. Knock on.
So unlucky there.
Knock on, mate.
Great play. Again, Sam Scarlett organising his forwards.
Are they going to challenge?
Jerry.
You got it?
Video review. We've ruled knock on. Decision's been challenged.
Well, the ball's ended up on the ground. It's either a try or it's play on.
Yeah, he slammed it down, didn't he? Great lead-up work. You know, Panthers have wrestled the momentum back in late in this second half. Starting to see what they can do with their set pieces.
And by play on, I mean it's a knock on and he's lost it. And he's short of the line. He's lost that. And that. No, you might as well challenge 2 out from half time.
Yeah, he was well short, but I think you're right there. I would have went with the challenge myself.
Yeah, you never know.
Nothing to lose, really.
Never know.
Actually, I'll take this wrong. Time back on, boys. Decision upheld. Knock on. My decision's correct. Knock on. Yeah, sorry. Oh, I've ruled you're taking your advantage. That's why. Panthers have no more challenges.
Interesting point there made by the Panthers player. He was just asking about the, you know, if there was any benefit, because there was a knock on there from an offside player, as you were calling it, earlier on in that piece. So
yeah, it's one of those ones where, and you can't challenge that. The referee ruled that because they moved the ball 10, 15 minutes and went through 2 or 3 sets of hands, I think, after that they did take their advantage, the Panthers. It comes back to that question, how far back do you go before you say, you know, you haven't had an advantage. I think in that instance, they had a chance. There's an injury here. Penrith player in agony. I think it's Stratton. 19 for Penrith, a shoulder. Hopefully it's just a burner. Very slow to his feet. And they're one short defensively here, Penrith, just before half time. Come here, play it just short of the halfway. Short ball, nice pass to Umunga. Been impressive, Gorman. They've had the ball here, Canterbury. Cox, a kick for Jay. And Wanga Blake took a Canterbury player out and Michael Morgan without possession. So what do they do here, Nathan? Take the 2 or try and score a 2? They're not going to have time for a full set.
Wait. Bring it back, boys.
I think they'll go here.
Okay, let's go.
They only have 2 tackles. They could have levelled it up, maybe. They looked at sensational decision. They're one short here, Penrith. Cartwright's offside now. Surely they'll have to take
Wait,
the 2.
I got it. Hinder. Back here.
Yeah, have to take the 2
Seconds
now.
remain. They are now.
Going for 2, boys.
They've made an interchange too while all that was happening. Penrith to get Jordan Stratton off, and Moses Leota comes on.
Took a while to get him on the field there too. They were a man down for most of that set there.
Unfortunately for Penrith, they had a long way to run. The interchange player to get down to help tackle as well. And clearly Bryce Cartwright was offside there at marker. He knew that as well. He knew the siren was about to sound.
Do you think Waka needed to, you know, escort that player there? I think, you know, that
so, no.
Yeah, that 5th tackle option again from the Bulldogs probably not the best kick or the best option in that situation where they had the Panthers a man down, possibility of running the football there.
I think Jay might have been away too. He took it and there was open space in front of him. Brendan Cox to level the scores at half time. And he does kick his 3rd goal for the first half, and it is half time here at Penrith. And the defending premiers and Canterbury are locked at 14 points apiece.
Stay
had
behind, boys.
20 less play-the-balls in half of football than Canterbury. Will it have an impact at the back end? A short restart. They've let bounce here. Penrith, Tangatau got lucky. Suppose we don't see more teams do that.
One of those coach killers to start the second half. Penrith will be trying to get into their groove, trying to complete this set, continue where they left off in the back end of that second half.
Cartwright's dropped it. Hitting a nice tackle by Brendan Cox, forcing it free. He gets up limping a little bit there too, Bryce Cartwright. And here comes Lane, the person we were talking about. Inside the 10. What a start here for Canterbury. Vella. Now Elliott. 5 metres away. Vella. Now, almost getting over the line. Carmier, he's only a metre away. Vella up quickly and putting some pressure on Gorman. Wrapped up straight away. But a bit disjointed here, the Panthers defensively. Slow play the ball, lets them regroup, and bouncing away back. Cowes, can he get the ball over the line? He can, but he can't ground it.
Time off. Tackle 5. Straight out.
Last tackle. And so
That's 5.
an opportunity here for Penrith to regroup.
Jay, you stay here, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Marcus, nice and close.
Gorman points to the sky. And here comes the kick. And Lane, the tall man, just can't get there. Cartwright picks it up, but a knock on by Penrith. I think it might have been Katoa that lost it, but I thought for a moment there that Sean Lane was just going to grab that out of the air under no real pressure from any Panthers player, but it just sailed over his head.
We're seeing that a lot in the NRL too at the moment. They're not kicking for the wingers or the centres. They're trying to land the ball on the little guy. And obviously Lane matched the match up there. He's a giant. Nelly pulled it down. Bulldogs looking to establish a lead here.
From the Panthers, the original decision was knock on from them. Yes.
I think there is a challenge. There was no signal from the referee. This is where it gets a bit confusing for the people at the ground too. They just see time off and everyone's standing around waiting, and they're not exactly sure what's happening here. I think he knocked it on here, Wenger Blake. I think it went towards... It's an early challenge in the second half. Well, they're challenging the knock on.
He doesn't chase, mate.
Did it go back and hit the foot of Lane? What do you think, Nathan?
Yeah, there's a bit of an argument there that it did go back. He did slip over too, just prior to that shot there. So he's made a good effort.
I think it's gone back into the leg there of Sean Lane. This may be overturned. Chris Ward, video referee in the box, and
I don't think it's touched his hand either. It looks like it's come off his hip, but even if it did, I think the first direction is back.
Into the leg there of Lane. I don't think there's a knock on from Penrith.
I think we might see this overturned. Penrith survive, perhaps.
Hey, Jerry, keep going and see if he's... Okay, so no, I was going to say he might have accidental offside.
What did they actually check? Knock on?
Yeah, we called it knock on. They challenged it knock on.
There's no accidental offside.
There looks to be play on there.
It should be Penrith. Well, it won't be Penrith's ball. It'll be a scrum with Penrith loosened feet.
Time on. Original decision stands. There's no conclusive evidence to overturn it. So scrum here. Feed the Bulldogs.
Wow.
No more challenges remaining.
Yeah, well, right.
That's a tough call.
Yes, mate.
No conclusive evidence to overturn it. Well, there was no conclusive evidence there was a knock on.
We've seen a
Big
few.
call, and now it gives another set here to Canterbury. And Elliott is only a couple of metres away. Vella, Gorman, short ball. Tuamunga. Massive call on the captain's challenge. And now Kamia back towards the ruck where the defence is. Leota making the tackle. Elliott, he takes them on. Hall is there. They're hanging on at the moment here, the Panthers. at the moment. Vela, come here. Cox, now Lane. Lane will reach out. Did he get it down? No. He lost it. They're going to challenge. He wants to challenge. The referee now hears him.
Jerry, video review. Live decision is a knock-on. Can you please review the decision?
He was in perfect position there, the referee, to see that one.
Can you sign off on a boot too, Jerry? Jerry?
Well, once again,
Just
that
sign off on a
left-hand
boot
edge
too,
for the Bulldogs, creating a bit of havoc.
Jared Sutton in the box as well with Chris Ward.
That's what we worry about, completing.
Now, he's ruled a knock on. It certainly bounced, but I think it's in his hand when he got it down. Front angle is a better one here. It's a try, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those those tough ones, but I think there was enough downward pressure there.
But if the one before, there was inconclusive evidence to overturn it, and they stayed with the referee. There was a foot there from Penrith.
Let's have a look again. Foot comes into play.
But I still think it's in his hand.
I think he's got it down.
But we just saw one that was not enough evidence to overturn. Will this be the same? So there's a foot coming here from Bryce Cartwright. Did he play at the ball, or was his foot just being planted? I think he's played at that football.
Yeah, mate.
And you're not allowed to put your foot out. Jerry Sutton, Chris Ward.
So it's not penalty try. All right. Penrith captain.
Bryce is his name.
Bryce. It's no try, but what it's going to be is a penalty against you for kicking the ball out. Boys, time back on.
You're allowed to steal it, but you're not allowed to use your foot
Overturned.
to do it.
It's going to be a penalty to Bulldogs. Where you are, Phil?
Yeah, well, we're not
You've got
going
a penalty,
too well
kicking
with
the ball out.
our challenges here.
Well, why is it not a penalty try? If it wasn't for the act of foul play or a penalty there, he would have scored the try, surely. Anyway, the Bulldogs are a couple of metres away from the goal line. Elliott had a ball that he could have given to Tuamunga, but he held on to it. Tuamunga was over. But Elliott plays it a couple of metres out. Vela back here to Cox. Now Lane, who's proved a real handful to start this second half. Cartwright with the tackle. Cox, Vela. Now this is Tupawolo. Vela. Elliott, this time to Tuamunga, but this time there was a man standing in front of him, and I think it's the halfback, Sam Scarlett, in front of a much bigger man.
They had him stripped too there, the Bulldogs. If that ball went out the back, there were 3 or 4 Canterbury players lining up to score that.
Sam Scarlett. What an effort from the little halfback. He knew that he was going to cop it. He's had a shoulder reconstruction on one shoulder. He's had another shoulder injury to the other one. And he put his body on the line and he saved a try.
I think he's a Queenslander too.
He is.
Just what New South Wales need.
I was impressed with him when we saw him here in round 1 last year against Canberra. He missed most of the season with that shoulder reconstruction. I've seen enough here today to suggest that he's one to watch. Just that play alone, you've got to be full of admiration. Well, there's a mistake. Good tackle on another small bloke, Vela. Luke Vela making the tackle on a bigger man, forcing the error from Moses Leota. And the Panthers have come up with the error.
Yeah, he's got in nice and low there.
Good
Vela.
technique, wasn't it?
It was a great technique. Gives them another opportunity here.
Arms around your mate, Ross.
Penrith, I was just about to say, Trent Barrett would have been very proud of the way they just defended their line. Back-to-back sets. Got an opportunity to get out of there and unfortunately come up with the error.
Tuamunga. That's the 20-metre line just in front of him. Cox. Now The beautiful ball on the outside to Penne, who scores. Terrific pass from Kyle Krasansky-Kennedy. And after all the possession and field position to start this second half, the Bulldogs have finally come up with points. But what about the pass from the young fullback?
Yeah, he made the right decision there. Had to get to that outside bloke, but look at the work done on the inside. Cox, I've been really impressed with his ball playing. Some of his fifth tackle options probably haven't been up to scratch here this afternoon, but the way he goes to the line, dropping players under, gets the ball out wide, and then it's just to get the ball into space.
Aaron Penne, this try scorer, his third try for the season, and it was on the back of the terrific tackle from Luke Vella to force the ball free from Moses Leota. And they've turned that error from Penrith into points. Good pass from Kyle Krasansky-Kennedy. And the winger gets the 4 points to put the Bulldogs back in front, 18 points to 14.
And once again, it's the left-hand attack of the Bulldogs, creating the space and the numbers. It's pretty important now for them. They can't have a repeat of what happened in that first half, where after they scored those points, they come up with two errors early in the tackle count, inviting Penrith back into the game.
The Milpera Colts is Brendan Cox, looking for 4 from 4, and he does. Very handy extra couple of points for Canterbury. It's 3 tries apiece, but Canterbury lead by 6.
Could be a telling factor at the end of the game. He's kicked beautifully for goal today. That was a ripper.
Adam Elliott getting some treatment for a head cut. You just see him there on the 40-metre line.
Stay behind, boys.
Swathed in bandages. That's why there was a bit of time off there. Cartwright with the restart. He's got a booming kick on him. And Vella. Can they hang on to the footy on this occasion? The other 2 times they've scored tries, Nathan, they've dropped the ball before they've got the tackle too. Well, they've improved on this occasion.
They need to get to the kick here. Playing nothing special at the moment. Little one out, trying to find their front. That's a fantastic run there to get them up over the 40-metre line.
Cox from inside the 40. Guy was under it. Space for him to return the footy. They got to their kick. That's a bonus there for Canterbury. Tia Khalifi. Naden. Andy Saunders getting ready to come back on for Penrith. Jay. It's slow to set here from Penrith. No real spark. Now Cartwright with a kick for Wanga Blake. The bounce was a tough one. The referee says knock on. It must have hit a Canterbury player as well.
I think he did knock it forward there, but...
yeah, but he regathered. If he regathered before, and they're going to challenge, I think, here, are they, or not?
Sorry, mate. You're going to challenge it? Okay.
They are going to challenge.
Jerry, video review. Live decision is a knock-on. Can you please, the decision's been challenged.
It's a knock-on if it touches another player, but if it doesn't touch anyone, he's entitled to catch it again.
Yeah, in fast motion or in the game, it didn't seem to be or touch any other player.
Everyone's onside, chasing right.
He's good now.
Cartwright again. He's got some skill.
Did it hit his shoulder? That's the key. He didn't. He said it doesn't matter whether he played at it or not. If it hits him, it's a knock-on. Pulls his hand away there, and it didn't hit. I don't think that's play on.
Hey Jerry, what about the?
Well, we're going to have another insufficient evidence.
And he's offside and catches it.
No movement.
There. So he's offside.
Does it touch the other Canterbury player?
I don't know that it does.
Jerry, will this confirm it as a penalty for being offside? Okay.
I think it's missed him completely, and I think that's play on. I think, mind you,
These are big decisions too, aren't they? You know,
so I don't think it's got anywhere near the Canterbury player, and I think that's play on. You can't look at it for the rest of the day. You've got to come up with a decision sometime, somewhere, somehow to either play on. I don't think it's touched him. And the more you look at it, the more you're going to be seeing things. You've either got a decision or you haven't.
Yeah, as I was saying, big decision here. The Panthers could be on the attack.
Well, there's been some big decisions in the first 10 minutes. We've had 3 video referee decisions in the first 10 minutes, and both of them could have gone either way. I don't think that's touched Penne at all. It's missed him there. I think it's missed his hand. I think it's play on.
Touch his hip there.
No, that foreshortens that. He's a metre behind there. If there's insufficient evidence, last one.
Time back on. Decision overturned. No knock on. So it's going to be a scrum. Bulldogs feed. Bulldogs have got no more challenges this half.
What's that for?
Why Bulldogs got no more challenges?
No knock on. Because they would have had the ball anyway. That's how the rule is.
Hold the mark there for us.
So they're saying they can only have 2 challenges per half now.
Arms around each other.
Both their challenges have gone their way too.
Hold it, boys.
Yeah,
Ball.
well, okay.
Hold it. Out. Let's go.
That must have been changed, and maybe one of these rules that gets changed that no one gets told about. That happens quite regularly. But at least we got, I think, to the right decision there. And Canterbury, the beneficiaries. They lead by 6. Terrific ball from Gorman. Here they come again, the Dogs. Nice tackle, Sam Scarlett, again in position to stop the Canterbury attack. Vella. Cox got away from the tackle. Elliott hit by Wanga Blake. He's only 10 metres away from the line. Cox with the kick. Here's Penne. Jay, did he tackle him? They've got to put a hand on him. I don't think he tackled him. I think he knew what he was doing and just brushed him in the back. No malice there. He landed awkwardly though, Joshua Jay.
It was a much better kick too to end the set there. Metre out from the try line. Cox, we've mentioned how impressive he's been with his ball playing. Penne there, he needed to be a bit smarter. He just had to hold up there. If he couldn't get to that footy on the full and compete for the footy, he needed to make a decision there of just allowing the Penrith player to catch it and try and drive him back into the in-goal. Unfortunately, he's made contact while he was in the air and is going to allow Panthers an easy advance up the field with the penalty. Bulldogs are looking sharp though.
Got a long way to go here, Penrith.
Yeah, boys. Back it up, boys. Wait for the kick.
You're on it, mate.
Wait for the
Out from their
kick.
own line.
Go.
Saunders, strong run, strong tackle. Lane involved. So too young Cox. There's been some impressive performances. Players on both sides today. Tawali plays it. Scarlett. No wide. Pelasasa. Tangatau. Solid shot over the top. This time by Lormanu. Now Tangatau looking for some space. Lane. A very important tackle from the number 12. Now Cartwright kicking. Jay chasing. Krasansky Kennedy does well to get back there and tidy up. But a pretty good set for Penrith to go from one end to the other. Elliott's head rocked back.
Fantastic spot for Penrith to start this defensive set. Bulldogs struggling to get back behind the ball.
Young Taweli, clash of heads there. He's put his hand straight up with the trainer for Penrith, but he needs to tackle. Very bunched here, Canterbury. Don't want to concede a penalty here, Penrith. Sansky Kennedy. Crichton coming back on for the Bulldogs. Adam Elliott going off, and Krasinski Kennedy getting up, holding the hamstring as Conks get his kick away and taken there by Jay. Good set defensively there from the Panthers, and they'll start their set on the halfway line.
Yeah, they don't need to.
Cartwright. They got on each other's way.
I was just about to make mention the Panthers don't need to panic here. They've won that arm wrestle, starting the set in good field position. Just had a look up there at the last minute, see where he was going. He's been in outstanding form throughout this game. Cartwright gives the Bulldogs another opportunity though.
I'll give you a go, mate. Heads right in. I'll give you a go. Right in, lock.
Plenty of points in this match if you can just control the footy.
Yours. Thank you, mate. 11, let him out. 7. Yeah. Hold. Go on.
Gorman. Quickly Naden forcing Gorman to take the line on himself.
Wait. 9, 1 step, mate. Hold. Go. That's good, mate.
Sua Oranga.
Just get up.
20-metre line he'll play it on. Now Crichton through the tackle of Tueli. Put on his back though by Cartwright. 10 out from the line. Cox. Lane. Krasinski. Kennedy. Here's a chance. Wanger Blake, and now Jay tackled as he got the ball. One-on-one steal, or was he on the ground? Then the tackle was completed.
Stay there. No, just wait. Blake's offside. Hey, mate. You got to go onside. Already made.
The tackle was already completed on Joshua Jay, and Penne was penalised for stealing the ball after the tackle was completed.
All the way back, Dogs.
And they were lucky there, Canterbury, because Wanger Blake, if he got a decent start, would have been very hard to catch.
Hands away now, boys. Blocking markers.
Saunders. Toeli. Inside the 10.
9 hands away.
Cartwright's on the short side with Blake. Tangatau. Now Scarlett. Scarlett hit in a solid tackle. He's dropped it. There's a good pickup from Gorman. They won't have the pace here, you wouldn't have thought. The Bulldogs, as they play it through Toamunga, short of halfway. Now, some space for Manuel Lealabave.
Yeah, boys. Don't roll over. He hold. Go one.
Backhouse. Struggling to get back here. Penrith, some easy meters being picked up here by Canterbury. Starting to see some fatigue set in. I wonder now with all the captain's challenges we had, whether we're still going to have the 20-minute drink break. Crichton. Crichton to the line. Cartwright wrapped him up over the top. Cox, Lane, Krasinski, Kennedy is over. The juggle, then he got the ball down. They just had too many numbers. The Bulldogs and the Panthers have paid for another mistake.
It started right down the other end of the field too, that one. They had their own attacking set going in. Scarlett unfortunately come up with the error. Bulldogs got down the other end of the field quite quickly. Cox has been impressive. Made the right decision there. Penrith was scrambling. Players coming out of the line, he's made the right decision there. It was just a numbers game. They got over the line.
2 players came out of the line and didn't make the tackle to stop the ball. If you are going to come out of the line, you've got to shut the ball down.
You've got to shut down the footy. I guess it was just a matter of time there. Once the Bulldogs got on the front foot, Penrith were scrambling, as we said. Just couldn't get the numbers to that edge. Bulldogs have been going there all day as well. Geez, Cox, he's been impressive.
He has. There's been some impressive performances on both sides. As I mentioned, Cox has been good. I think Gorman's been good at times too. And Sean Lane has been outstanding for Canterbury as well.
Crichton's been busy.
He has. His worst kick of the day. To give him a rap to Brendan Cox. But it's still a very handy lead, 24-14. And the Panthers just look a little bit down here. They're not out, but they're certainly down.
They did chew up a lot of juice those first few sets after half-time.
You run, Panthers.
I think they'll be looking forward to this break. They need a good defensive set here.
Restart here from Cartwright. They've had so much more football, Canterbury, than Penrith. Look at the number of play the balls, 91 to 50. That's an extra 33 play the balls, 5.5 sets more possession. Canterbury, and it's got to take its toll in these conditions. That amount of defence, doesn't it?
It definitely does, and you know, a lot of those extra tackles were made inside the Penrith half. You know, when you are defending in your own half, you have to be upbeat, a bit more intense. Your goal line's under threat there. You generally chew up a bit more juice as well.
Hayden out of the line, and he does wrap the football up. Gorman under pressure. Vella. Harawira making the tackle for Penrith. Now Cox, a high kick. Joshua J takes it well. They can't get away. He tried to get away, but couldn't get away from Krasansky Kennedy. He came from fullback to make the tackle. Wanga Blake will play it. What have they got here, Penrith? Still got plenty of time. Tia Khalifi, not even at the drinks break yet. Cartwright. Cartwright, they wrap that footy up. Lane over the top. Cox was around the legs. Atwood. Here's a tester for Krasansky. Kennedy does well. Scarlett was there to make a very good tackle.
It was a great chase there. He's doubled it up with that tackle from Marker. Bulldogs struggling here. 3 tackles gone, not even out of their 20 yet. Can this be the momentum shift for the Panthers? You can just sense, you know, they've got plenty of strike power in this side, that they'll get some opportunities in the back end of this game. They need to stay close.
Cox, straight to Jay. Let's see what Penrith have in this set. Tangatau from Acne half. Leaders there for the number 9, and tackled by his opposite number, Vella. Harawira. Saunders, some metres there for Andy Saunders. Here's a bit of a roll for the Panthers. Quick play the ball. Tangatau trying to catch them. Now Katoa. Penalty, never onside. Canterbury. On the back of a terrific run from Andy Saunders.
Ask Andy if he wants it now, or he wants to keep playing.
Do they want a drinks break now, or do they want to keep going?
We're going to have a drinks break, boys.
Take the drinks break. Wow. Thought they might have kept going.
Drinks break, boys.
Look at the body language of a few of the Canterbury players.
Interesting in the first half, drinks break on a penalty, and the Bulldogs scored on the back of that drinks break. Drinks break, penalty to Penrith. And I think with the situation of the game as it is, they must score from this penalty. Here is a terrific ball from Krasansky Kennedy. The last couple of tries here in this game for Canterbury. They've scored the last 2. After it was 14 all at half time, 24-14 is the score at the moment. But how important is this set after the drinks break here for Penrith?
Look, I think it is very important, considering they had all the momentum there and they decided to take the drinks break, but they just need to start to build a bit of pressure by completing this set. If they don't score a try, get the Bulldogs coming out of their own end.
And they have been leaders at half-time, Canterbury, in their first 2 games and been run down. Is that in the back of your mind, the fact that you've had 2 games this year and we've lost games from winning positions?
I think there is, you know, that little man talking to you when you do get tired. He reminds you. You know, the Bulldogs were out on their feet there, so, you know, maybe that's been the break that they needed. But I think Penrith, you know, if they can stay in this game, as we said, and not panic, you know, create a few opportunities on this right-hand side with Cartwright and Walker.
Saunders, solid defence. Good tackle there from Cope. He felt that, Andy Saunders. Scarlett. Now, Geyer. Just a couple of metres away. Big moment in the game here for both teams. Scarlett did well to catch. The ball went forward. The touch judge came up with the call. Taueli was the man that was tackled. Sam Scarlett, he did well to catch it. In retrospect, he should have just taken the ball and stayed on the ground.
Yeah, they let the Bulldogs off the hook there. They had numbers out on this right-hand edge. Geez, he did do well to pull that in, but...
Was it forward? Was it forward?
Line ball. One of those 50-50s. They haven't always gone Penrith's way this afternoon.
Arms around each other. Put your arm around your mate. That's it. Head right in.
Probably not what they were looking for, though. Looked like it was brewing nicely out here on the right-hand edge. Bulldogs will be looking to complete this and put them as far away from their try line as possible.
He's barely seen the ball today. Michael Morgan, 4 tries last week against Cronulla. Hasn't had too many opportunities today. Gorman back to Cope. First try score of the game today. Komoto. Last tackle. And Crichton, touch, says the referee. Gorman into a bit of space. Another set coming here for the Bulldogs, only a couple of metres away from the line. They've got to hold on here, Penrith. Komoto. He's only a metre away. They're very short to Canterbury's right, Penrith. Crichton from acting half, held up by Saunders. They had numbers to the right.
Sorry, mate.
Andy Saunders saved a try there, but they've got a few more tackles. They have to survive here.
Hold the line, boys.
Penrith.
Stay straight, markers.
Hold. Go.
Gorman. Elliott back to Kremansky. Kennedy, who's dropped it. They do survive, Penrith.
Wait now, no, it's not a quick one, mate.
Was a nice little, set piece there. Just come unstuck at the last little minute.
There's no quick one in 20. He's mine now. There's your mark, mate. You whistle, mate. You whistle. Sorry,
Back here, dogs, all the way.
Getting into a dangerous position, the referee said, so penalty to Penrith and a relieving one. And the clock continues to tick, 15 to go, they're 10 behind. Have they got petrol left? They've done a mountain of work defensively. 60% almost possession to Canterbury in this game, never onside. The referee said he was, play on. Wow, Brock Cope got away with one there, I think. Taueli. It's the 30-metre line he plays it on. Cartwright. Wanger Blake couldn't get it because it was touched by Morgan. Tackle count restarts. Katoa. Scarlett. And Saunders straight and hard. Body contact there. Saunders gets up feeling it too. Katoa Wanga Blake wasn't expecting it.
9.
Thought it was going to go to Cartwright.
Listen.
They probably missed an opportunity there.
To calm down, especially the way
He's
you
got onto the outside of his man. If he pulls that in, big opportunity. Morgan did quite well, actually, now that we look back at it. Stayed nice and square, stayed with him. Got up in his face just at the last minute.
Andy Saunders feeling the effects of that solid tackle. It was made on him. Is there a bit of a cut above the ear?
Okay.
It was a terrific shot. He really, in the last couple of hit-ups, he's been nailed, Andy Saunders. Garindai. And here is the shot. Trying to catch who it was. Just a bit of a head clash.
Are you taking it in the back or is you right to go? Okay.
Doesn't tickle. Another opportunity to
Dogs, back here.
get the breath back for both teams. 14 to go.
You're on the mark, mate, so hold me.
You wouldn't be too comfortable if you were Scott Murray, the coach of Canterbury, with a 10-point lead after the first couple of weeks of the season, after being run down, and the fact that it is such a warm day today.
They are playing some really good football, the Bulldogs. Now they've changed the angles around the ruck. They've played to their strengths on this left-hand edge. Lane in particular has been strong. Cox is ball playing, as we've mentioned several times today. But you just get the feeling that Penrith aren't out of this.
Added to the amount of work they've had to do defensively, Penrith, is that they've only had 3 on the interchange bench since just before half-time. Jordan Stratton went off injured with that shoulder injury, so they're just down to rotation of 3 in these conditions, and the amount of work they've done would be difficult for them. Cox just got his kick away, a floating kick, and that's a knock on. No, the referee says it went backwards. Wow, he was very fortunate there, Joshua J. I thought that was a knock on. There's one that goes Penrith's way.
A very bunched Penrith. They've been working really hard, as we've mentioned, defensively today, but they need to pull shape.
Saunders, another strong run. And a penalty on the back of it. Isn't it funny how when you run hard and straight and look for a quick play the ball, how many times you do get a penalty?
Hendo. Tip the 13 Panthers about hand on ball.
Yeah.
My whistle. Might be out.
It's not going to find touch. It was touched. It was touched by Penno. They'll get the loose and feed. That was extremely fortunate there for Penrith. They've had a 50-50 call down the other end for a knock-on. Now they've only just found touch. Is it swinging the momentum?
In the context of this game, that would have been inexcusable. They needed to get that ball out. Fortunately, they've still got possession with the scrum. They need to set something up on this right-hand side. I'd be going to Cartwright.
I'm surprised he's packed in the scrum. They might have tried something from the scrum. They've given it the smallest player in Sam Scarlett. Tangatau. Tia Khalifi. Tia Khalifi still driving. Terrific tackle, Elliott. And Backhouse was there as well. Scarlett. Katoa. Katoa pushes away, and he's dropped the ball with no one near him, straight into the hands of Adam Elliott. He won't have the pace, will he? Here come the chasers, Naden from behind. He couldn't link with support. He had Manuel Lealavave with him, but couldn't give it to him. Backhouse. Is that the opportunity the Panthers will live to regret? Can Canterbury make them pay now? Dujon, Manuel Lealavave, only a metre away from the line. Would be demoralising for Penrith. Crichton, Cox, Krasansky, Kennedy out to Penne, who scores in the corner. And the Bulldogs extend their lead. The young fullback, Krasansky, Kennedy hit after he passed as well. But what a ball it was.
Once again, we've seen that play earlier on in this first half that led to a try. It's nearly a carbon copy. Here's the error down the other end of the field. Looking for support.
He's just unlucky there that it was the back rower, Elliott, and he couldn't link with his winger. But here's this play again.
Out the back to Cox, drifting across field, summing it up. And there's the long ball.
It's a shoulder charge too. This could be placed on report, you think. What do you think, Nathan, here? The referee is going to call him out, I think. It will be Wanga Blake. I think it's Wanga Blake that's going to be cautioned.
Crichton's been good too today. Here's the contact.
It was late, and I don't think there was any arms in it. No, the referees. Would you classify that as a shoulder charge? Do you reckon he's tried to wrap his arms around that?
Look, I think the way the game has gone and the description of what they are these days, I think that is a shoulder charge, but
well, nothing's happening.
The ball's already gone. Doesn't affect the play, really. I think he's up now.
Nothing happening there. I thought he might have been in a bit of strife there, Wanga Blake, but nothing happening. But they will rue missed opportunities today, Penrith. I mean, he just dropped that cold, Qatar.
The whole set, though, they just look disorganised. They tried to put a shift play on out here to this right-hand edge. Just didn't come off. He had to head back towards the other side of the field, looking for options. And sometimes when you're trying a little too hard, errors happen.
Cox, is it coming back enough? It is. He's just had one ordinary attempt at kick today. The rest have been beauties. And Canterbury lead the defending premiers 30 points to 14. That was a massive kick. It's now 16 the difference. It is going to be a real test of character here for the Panthers inside the final 10. Short kick from Cartwright. Wanga Blake has taken it. Stolen it out of the hands of Sean Lane. They're not done with yet, the Panthers. They haven't been able to score this half, though. They scored 2 tries in 5 minutes to finish the half, and nothing since. They need to score here. Scarlett, Geyer, Tia Khalifi, Backhouse with the tackle. Geyer has dropped it.
Not his finest moments in this performance here today.
Well, he started the match so well with that terrific try-saving tackle.
Just relieves that pressure too.
You see the heads drop. The heads just drop straight away from the Panthers there.
Must complete in the grind. One more.
They've had their opportunities though today, haven't they? Even though they've made 50-odd more tackles than the Canterbury Bulldogs.
Oh, boys, I'll give you a go.
They've still showed enough with ball in hand that they can score points.
They've got a bit more spring in their step now, Canterbury. I mean, the amount of possession they've had will do that, plus the scoreboard does it for them as well. And Lane, he has been a handful. He's a terrific young player.
You tackle.
Back here, boys, back here.
Wide up.
Just there.
Hold. Go.
Paul making the tackle in 15. Tangatau around the legs. Krasansky, Kennedy must have a target on him the last couple of sets. Tackle made by Tia Khalifi. Now the kick. See the energy levels here from Penrith in this set, whether or not they've got any left. It's impressive, this young school kid, Brent Naden. Certainly doesn't look out of place in the under-20s.
Every opportunity he's had today, he's made an impact. So too is this guy, Saunders. That's his 20th hit-up of the day. Unfortunately, it doesn't look to be enough here for the Penrith Panthers side. Bulldogs just been too clinical at those balance moments throughout the game. They look tired, Penrith.
Scarlett kicking and finds touch just inside the corner post. And it will be a loosened feed here to Canterbury. Once again, missed opportunities here for the Panthers. And they're struggling to get here to pack the scrum. They've got to get players in there. 5 minutes remaining.
Hurry the dogs up now. Hurry the dogs up.
Come on, dogs, let's go.
Time off. Let him stand up.
Time's off, boys. You can stand up.
Wayne Blake. He's been a bit crook. Today's conditions wouldn't help him at all. Looks like they're going to take him from the field. Has been unwell.
Wait, mate, wait.
That's why he missed.
It's a head-win one, so I can make a replacement.
Just his second game this year. That's why he missed the first one
We're all good.
because of illness.
Andy, make sure your arms are around each other in the second row.
11 here, mate. That's it.
Maybe actually a concussion
Heads right in, Bulldogs.
interchange.
Head in, mate.
Hold it, boys.
Ball 7.
Hold it.
Come on. Out. Yours.
Thanks, mate.
Penno. There's any doubt they've been the better side today, Canterbury. The completion rate has been better than their opponents. As you mentioned, Nathan, been a bit more clinical. They've created more opportunities. Elliott will play it now. Crichton with the hands. Come here. Have they got points left here? Canterbury. Tupuolo. Last tackle. Cox, Lane, another great ball. Penne scores in the corner. This time the deliverer was Sean Lane, and a hat-trick for Aaron Penne. Puts the icing on the cake for Canterbury and registers their first win of the season. 34-14 with a kick to come.
Yeah, I definitely think the game's gone now. Cox again, just so controlled. Lane, who's been exceptionally well, done exceptionally well throughout this game out on this left edge, comes up with a fantastic pass, but Penne, hat-trick here. It's not always easy to do, hugging that sideline, but he's done it exceptionally well this afternoon. Played a big part in registering the win for the Canterbury Bulldogs and getting their season underway. I think their coach will be very happy with the way they've gone about their business here in the second half.
Brings the ball back a long way, doesn't he, young Cox? Back to almost the 30-metre line. That's a big kick. Most goal kickers would bring it back, what, to the just over the 20?
Yeah, he's got a nice little curl on the ball as well. Probably not like Jonathan Thurston curl, but it's definitely kicked well this afternoon.
Well, it was the difference there for a while because it was 3 tries apiece and they had a converted try lead, 6 points lead. And even at 3 tries to 2 at half time, it was in favour of Penrith. They'd scored 3. It was the goal kicking of Brendan Cox that was the difference, and he's missed that one. So once again, we give him a wrap, and the 2 times we have, he's missed his attempted conversion. But 2 minutes remaining. And it's a comprehensive win in the end to Canterbury. 14-all was the score at half-time. Not only have they scored 20 points in the second half, they're 20 unanswered points. Panthers without a point in this second half, and they've had their opportunities.
They have had to make a lot of tackles this afternoon. Down to 2 on the bench as well as we finish this game.
Yeah, Naden.
It's okay,
A bit of a knock.
It's okay.
On his feet.
Trainer, watch out, mate. All right, mate, when you're ready.
In the middle, 11.
Tackle 1.
Go.
There's a ball coming free. Was it stolen? It was, says the referee. Hand in there.
You're out of challenges, boys.
Hang on. They're offside. They're going to come behind you. They're going to come behind you.
I'm good, mate. I'm ready.
Yep. Here's your marquee 6. What are you going to do? Keep going, mate. Don't go early. Don't go in front of him.
They'll be hungry for points here.
Yeah.
Really ice this game.
Left in the legs, though. That's the question, isn't it?
Wait for the kick.
There's some play. Backhouse hasn't seen much of the footy today. Do they have any more points? 30 seconds to go. Crichton. And Cox. Knock on from Cox, was it? The referee said
Knock on
yes.
the ground, boys.
Penrith trying to pack the scrum
Stay
to
in,
stop
boys.
the clock. Full marks to them for trying, but they can't get their heads in the right spot.
Time off. Stay there. Let's go, Bulldogs.
Jay. Oh, Hendo. Yeah, sorry, Laurie. You stay up there, mate, in case they
Head right in, Adam. Stay into like call out.
You're onside, offside.
It's been a good win here for the Bulldogs.
Time on.
Molly, boys.
Short turnaround, played Monday night.
They read that well, Canterbury. The kick from Cartwright, and Tupuola was back there to tidy up. Backhouse hitting a solid tackle to finish this game. I think it was Pelasasa coming up with the big hit. Now Elliott muscling up here a bit, Canterbury, and there is the siren. And here's the first win of the season for Canterbury. They've upset the defending premiers, the Penrith Panthers, by 34 points to 14.